Good evening and welcome to Atlanta News First Plus. I'm here to give you a check of the first alert forecast. A lot of weather to talk about as we typically do stream every evening at 8 p.m. And tonight the focus is revolving around showers and thunderstorms entering North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. If you're outside this evening, you are acutely aware that it is raining. It's pouring in some neighborhoods with thunder and lightning in the first alert forecast here for the next few hours, really off and on overnight. You probably have already heard some of that thunder if you're watching, if you're streaming from DeKalb County. In fact, we can go ahead and switch over modes here, and I'm going to bring you to radar. The big picture, you can see there are severe weather watches, some warnings in effect for the Florida Panhandle, portions of southwest Georgia, South Georgia. Now, as we move deeper into the city of Atlanta proper, the tighter into the metro, you could kind of see these little downpours developing on the east side earlier this evening, moving off to the north. At the same time, some lighter, steadier rains building in from the south and west. It was those smaller individual downpours that had lightning and thunder with them earlier this evening, and we are still tracking some embedded thunder and lightning as well. In fact, we can turn lightning back on. And again, it's very occasional, not too much of it at the moment. We've kind of seen that decline here over the past, 30 to 45 minutes, but we are still seeing some of these downpours building their way up into Hall County, perhaps into Lumpkin County over the next 15 to 30 minutes. In fact, I can put a track on this. Cells are moving relatively quickly, so it won't pour for too long at any one spot. Nonetheless, a decent batch of heavy rain moving out of Gwinnett County into portions of Dawson County, Hall County, Lumpkin County as well. Gainesville into the city of Gainesville proper by 8:42 on its current heading. Murrayville by 8:48. Dahlonega into Lumpkin County 8:58. The Clermont community just after that, other side of the 9 o'clock hour. And again, there is more where this came from. More rain in the first alert forecast. Again, want to thank you for tuning in and for watching, and remind you that we are streaming across many platforms this evening. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. We're streaming in the Atlanta News First app, the First Alert Weather app at atlantanewsfirst.com, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, YouTube TV as well. And on YouTube, it's a great place because not only can you catch the stream, get the information, but you can ask questions. If you need any clarification on the forecast, if you have a specific question about a specific neighborhood or community, YouTube is the place to be to get those specifics. And again, we are here to keep you updated on Atlanta News First Plus. That's our main goal, our main job here. So again, stay in touch with us, and if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, you can reach out on YouTube. Atlanta News First is the account to like and to follow. And I'll be monitoring the comments as they come in. Right now we have some folks watching, but no comments coming in just yet. Again, taking the track off, and we'll go ahead and zoom out just a bit, put radar back in motion, just so you can get the idea as to what has moved in and what has yet to move through. And you can see we still have some rain off to our south and west. And it's going to be an interesting story because we still have this area of low pressure spinning away to our west. And as long as this is spinning away to our west, again, kind of moving in a east-northeast direction, as long as that is to our west, rounds of rain, at least light sprinkly showers and rains in the first alert forecast this evening. So just keep that in mind. As long as that system is to our west, southerly flow, the atmosphere is rising, the air is rising, clouds are building, and showers, and occasionally some thunderstorms are forming. But batch number one is the heaviest of it is sliding just to our south. South of Interstate 20, city of Atlanta, we're dealing with some rain, obviously, embedded, isolated thunderstorms earlier this evening, kind of giving way to just a lighter, a steadier rain in the first alert forecast. Right now, the steadiest of that rain, Carrollton, LaGrange, Peachtree City, Thomaston, Griffin, McDonough, Henry County. It's a soaker of a drive down 75, US 19 down into Griffin, as well as 85, getting down to Troup County, LaGrange. So quite a bit of rainfall activity. But nothing severe. We've seen that risk of severe weather really pare down over the course of the day. Michael Baxter, good evening to you. Hello, thank you for watching. Again, Michael, let me know where you're streaming from. I know you're local, North Georgia, kind of in and around the metro. So, Michael, let me know where you are watching, where you are streaming from, and I can give you that, personalized kind of neighborhood and community-specific take on where the rain is now, what you can expect through the evening. In general, your hour-by-hour forecast. Temperature is nearly steady in the low to mid-60s. We already have rain falling here at Atlanta News First in West Midtown, 14th in McCaslin to be exact, and there is more rain on the way. I think we're going to get a little bit of a break as we approach midnight, and then showers and maybe a few thunderstorms moving back in as we approach the early morning commute. Kind of scattered to numerous, so maybe it won't be as constant, but coverage will increase once again as we get into the morning rush tomorrow, 5, 6, 7 a.m. in particular, and temperatures nearly steady in the mid to upper 60s. Not much cooling overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. So kind of a mild, somewhat muggy evening with rounds of rain in the first alert forecast, especially along the I-20 corridor, including the heart of the metro and points south from there with this first round, and then more of an area-wide chance of a few downpours, kind of hit or miss scattered downpours as we get into the morning commute tomorrow. So that rain chance will expand and extend back into the mountains early tomorrow morning. We'll give you the yellow light, a heads-up first alert. Tomorrow is a first alert weather day, so just be aware wet roads tomorrow morning and occasional downpours moving through the area, and it will turn very windy as we end the morning commute and head into the lunch hour and into the afternoon. Winds gusting 40 to 50 miles an hour across North Georgia and metro Atlanta as some of this rain continues. So tomorrow, kind of a cloudy, a gloomy, a spritzy sort of day after our early morning scattered downpours, more of a drizzle in the afternoon with increasing winds really cranking it up as we get into tomorrow afternoon. So showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two embedded in, with temperatures out the door in the low to mid-60s for the most part, up to 60 or so. Blairsville, 65 in the city of Atlanta, 60 Carrollton, 59 in LaGrange, 62 Covington, 63 in Rome. Mild start, and where it's not raining, low clouds, could be some areas of dense fog, so certainly some showers to contend with, but just kind of a gross, yuck sort of morning, if you will, out the door. Hour-by-hour forecast, again, starting right now. Forecast model has a decent handle on where it's raining and where it's not, but what this model is seeming to be missing is the fact that we do have quite a bit of rain actually extending off to the west from where this batch is. It's still raining Carrollton, Roanoke, Wedowee, Alabama, that entire I-85 corridor. So this particular forecast model kind of missing the mark on that one, but I think it has a general idea okay. And that is the fact that this first batch will build off to the east. We probably will see some redevelopment across the southwest side, Carrollton, southwest Atlanta, on into Coweta County, LaGrange, Troup, and Heard counties, that will then build off to the north and to the east. So even if you get a bit of a mid to late evening break, probably still some more rain building back into even the heart of the metro, but especially communities south of I-20 as we go through the late evening and the overnight. Here we are, 6 a.m. Spotty rain, yes, it's hit or miss, but scattered downpours. Again, there will be some brief heavy rain from time to time through the morning rush. 1 p.m. upper 60s, lower 70s. Winds really starting to crank by that point. Not thunderstorm related, but that area of low pressure that's spinning over the Arklatex this evening, we were just tracking it for you, that will be passing nearly overhead as we get into tomorrow. So we have the return of showers, lots of clouds, temperatures not too warm. In fact, quickly dropping as we get into the late afternoon and the evening as some cooler air filters in. And around this time, tomorrow evening, 50, 60, 6 p.m., lots of clouds, drizzle, and light rain, and it will be very windy. Michael Baxter is watching from Kennesaw up on the northwest side. Hello and good evening to you. You all have not seen that much rain so far, kind of a light to moderate showery sort of rain in that particular community, but you do have that ongoing chance tonight into tomorrow, though I think relatively low impacts as far as tonight is concerned. Early tomorrow morning is concerned. We've pared back that risk of severe weather across North Georgia and metro Atlanta, kind of an occasional steady rain in the forecast, and rainfall forecast amounts are relatively manageable. We're looking at widespread, half an inch to an inch along and south of I-20, maybe up to 2 inches south of Eatonton. For the rest of us, maybe a quarter of an inch to a half an inch. That's the forecast, including what falls tomorrow afternoon after some of our overnight and early morning showers and rumbly thunderstorms move through. Temperatures are a little tricky tomorrow. Southwest side, rain is a little more persistent, a little cloudier, so you're cooler. 69 in Rome. 76, though, the east side in Athens with maybe a break or two of sunshine. Kind of away from that area of low pressure as it moves through. You're more likely to see peaks of sun before that second round of wet weather begins to move back in. Again, it will be windy. Here's a closer look at wind gusts. Winds actually starting to pick up as early as this evening and overnight tonight, but we're talking wind gusts 40 to 50 miles an hour as we get into our Thursday morning, but possibly lingering into the afternoon as well. In fact, this particular forecast model is aggressive with overnight winds, though I do think that it'll be more gradual, that increase overnight. In fact, I can pull up another graphic here and have a closer look Forecast winds over the next 48 hours. I think tomorrow afternoon. And then again, Friday afternoon, that'll include the gustiest of the wind. So this is a different forecast model, slightly different take on how the wind evolves over the next several hours. Notice how this is saying wind gusts at 20 tomorrow morning, not 40 to 50, but it does have wind gusts approaching 40 as we get into the afternoon. So forecast model still struggling a little bit with the path of this low and our windiest of weather, but I would bank on mid-morning tomorrow through early tomorrow evening being the windiest, and then a bit of a lull overnight into Friday morning, though still overnight breezes. And then once again, windy, winds gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour as we get into mid-Friday morning on and through early Friday afternoon. Of course, one of the big events going on, lots of tents. It's outside. It is the Dogwood Festival at Piedmont Park. So if you're planning on attending, if you're a vendor, make sure you're staking it down or doing whatever the park allows you to do to secure the tent, because it is going to be windy tomorrow, winds howling, and then breezy to windy, not quite as gusty, but enough to blow some tents around on our Friday. But overall, a gorgeous weekend. Saturday, Sunday, highs in the 70s and lower 80s, lots of sunshine, lower wind speeds, low humidity. It'll be a stunner of a weekend. Coming up Saturday, Sunday, we just have to get through the rest of today, this evening, overnight, tonight. No real severe weather risk at the moment. We have pared that down. Maybe an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm south of I-20, in particular LaGrange, Troup County down to about Thomaston, Upson County, and over and up to Eatonton and Putnam County, our southern tier of communities. But the risk is relatively low, and certainly lower than what we were looking at when we spoke yesterday evening. So we're watching it. We're keeping you updated. But again, that risk of severe weather appears relatively low compared to when we spoke yesterday evening on this same stream. So that's some good news there. Still worthy of keeping your alerts turned on in the First Alert Weather app. Still a First Alert Weather day. Damp evening conditions underway. And then after a damp evening, an impact to anyone with, your Tuesday evening, rather Wednesday evening plans. It's going to be a combination of wind and rain tomorrow. Rain may not be constant, especially early, but there will be some downpours, some scattered showers moving through as those winds start to crank up, and then maybe more of a steady, light to drizzly sort of rain, kind of like what we have this evening, back tomorrow afternoon and evening as some of the gustiest of the winds move through, with temperatures probably falling from the lower 70s back into the 60s a little prematurely, a little earlier than what you might expect as we get into late tomorrow afternoon and evening. We're keeping the breezes on into the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, though, gorgeous, nice weather is back. Plan on a much warmer, much sunnier weekend in the First Alert forecast. In the meantime, they'll keep an eye on the forecast. First Alert Weather app, a great tool if you're on the go this evening. I'm joined by First Alert Meteorologist Patrick Pete and First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez, covered starting at 10 p.m. on Peachtree TV, Atlanta's CW affiliate. Full check of the forecast then, and then you can catch both of them on the late news tonight on WANF starting at 11 p.m. I'll leave you with a look outside. Again, we're tracking clouds and rain back in the First Alert forecast. Quite a bit of drizzle and steady light rain out there at the moment. Case in point, this is a look at the top end of the perimeter. Raindrops on the Lens, earlier downpours moving through this part of town. 285, Georgia 400, all of our lanes are soaked. Make sure you're driving safe this evening. Keep your rain alert turned on in the First Alert Weather app, and we will keep you updated again next check of the forecast starting at 10 p.m. on Peachtree TV with First Alert Meteorologist Patrick Pete. Myself will keep you covered right here and on streaming.